Disney parks are often called the happiest places on earth, but beneath the cheerful music and magical facades, sometimes darkness creeps in. In 2016, the unthinkable happened at Disneyland in Paris's Haunted Mansion, known locally as Phantom Manor. One man entered this iconic attraction and never came out alive. What happened that night remains one of the most mysterious and haunting incidents in Disneyland history. On a cold April morning in 2016, Disneyland Paris employees began their daily checks of the park before opening. When they entered the Phantom Manor, they made a horrifying discovery: the lifeless body of a maintenance worker eerily positioned inside the ride's dark corridors. The craziest thing about it is that he was found in an area of the attraction meant to simulate ghostly horrors, but this time, the terror wasn't part of the show. After the technician's death, Phantom Manor closed temporarily for investigations and repairs. Disneyland Paris issued a statement expressing condolences to the worker's family but kept the details under tight wraps, leaving fans to speculate. For years, rumors have swirled around this tragic incident. Some visitors claim they feel a heavy presence in the manor's corridors. Could it be the lingering spirit of the technician? Others insist the ride itself is cursed, tied to its haunting storyline and chilling design. Whether it was a freak accident or something more paranormal, the events of that night added a real-life chill to the Haunted Mansion's ghostly reputation. And for those who dare enter, they might just find themselves asking, what if the spirits in here aren't just animatronics? The Haunted Mansion was meant to frighten its guests, but what if it's hiding a terrifying truth? What do you think? Was it an accident? Or does Phantom Manor hold secrets too dark to be revealed? Sometimes the darkest secrets don't hide in the shadows. They hide right above you. The Cantrell Funeral Home stood for years in the heart of Detroit. It was supposed to be a place of closure where families come to say goodbye. But behind its heavy doors and faded curtains, something unspeakable was happening. In April of 2018, local authorities shut the funeral home down. Its owners had been accused of mishandling bodies, stacking them, leaving them unrefrigerated. The smell of decay became impossible to ignore, but as bad as that sounds, it was only the beginning. 6 months later, in October of 2018, an anonymous tip came in. The caller claimed that there was something strange hidden inside the abandoned building, something that no one had seen before. When police arrived, they searched the dusty halls and empty rooms until someone looked up. They climbed into the ceiling crawl space, and that's when they saw them. 11 tiny bodies, infants, were found hidden inside the ceiling. Some placed in boxes, others wrapped in filthy cloth. They had been there for years, tucked away in the darkness, as if someone hoped that the world would forget them. The discovery shocked the community. Who were these babies? How did they end up here? And who did this to them? But the real horror is this: no one truly knows why. Was it negligence or something darker? Were the spirits of those infants left wandering, trapped between this world and the next? Locals say if you walk past the remains of the funeral home late at night, you can still hear the faint cries. And if you look up into the rafters, you might feel like someone's watching. The Cantrell Funeral Home was torn down, but some believe its secrets still linger. 11 innocent souls hidden above, forgotten for years. And while the building is gone, the question remains: who did this, and are they still out there? In January 2018, a small town in Mexico became the setting for one of the most disturbing and gruesome crimes in recent memory. Magdalena Aguilar Romero, a loving mother of two, vanished without a trace. What was eventually discovered would shock the nation and leave an entire community in horror. Magdalena Aguilar Romero was a 25-year-old mother living in Taxco, a quiet town in Guerrero known for its picturesque streets and silver mines. On January 13, 2018, she left her home to pick up her children from her estranged husband, Cesar Lopez Arciniega, but Magdalena never returned. Days would then turn into nights as her family desperately searched for answers. Flyers were posted, calls to authorities were made, and her loved ones held on to hope. but the truth would prove more horrifying than anyone could have ever imagined. On January 22, 2018, 9 days after she disappeared, authorities made a shocking discovery in her estranged husband's home. Inside a kitchen area, they found Magdalena's dismembered remains. Parts of her body had been placed in pots and pans, seemingly prepared for a sick, cannibalistic meal. The autopsy revealed that Magdalena had been murdered before her body was mutilated. Her estranged husband, Cesar Lopez Arciniega, became the prime suspect, but by the time her remains were discovered, he had fled. This gruesome crime sent shockwaves through Taxco and beyond. Investigators speculated that the murder may have been fueled by jealousy, rage, or even revenge. Magdalena's family described her as a devoted mother, but her relationship with Cesar had been troubled, marked by control and abuse. Her death became a symbol of the growing femicide crisis in Mexico, where violence against women has reached epidemic levels. In 2020, femicide reports increased by 7.1%, leaving countless families shattered and communities demanding justice. Despite the international attention this case received, Cesar Lopez Arciniega remains at large, evading capture to this day. Magdalena's family continues to fight for justice, hoping to see her murderer brought to account. Magdalena Aguilar Romero's story is a chilling reminder of the dangers women face every day and the heartbreak left behind by unchecked violence. While her killer roams free, her memory stands as a call for change and justice. How many more lives must be lost before something changes? And what will it take to bring Magdalena's killer to justice? Rest in peace, Magdalena. You will never be forgotten. And rest in peace to all other victims of femicide. Prayers go out to all of your loved ones and families. Thank you for stepping into the darkness with me. Your presence keeps these stories alive, and for that, I'm grateful. But don't let the darkness take you just yet. Like, share, and subscribe to keep the flame burning. If you guys have any stories that you want me to cover, or you have your own story, feel free to reach out to me and send it to my email down below. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to embrace the journey that feels your fear.